Hi folks, I hope everyone is keeping well and wishing you happy solstice, merry Yule if you acknowledge this holiday, if you are celebrating the kind of calendar point shift in the year. I thought it would be a good day to just do a little end of year message and also just bring in a bit of reflection to where things are at the moment with True Voice Creations and feeling into that direction of travel for next year. So yeah, the balance of creative practice, research and facilitation is really important to me as a practitioner, to ensure that I'm bringing in all of these insights and also that I am actively engaged in and working in these different spaces. They complement each other, they cross over, they inform each other. There is opportunity to bridge and to connect what may appear as kind of quite separate disciplines or areas of exploration. And that's the amazing thing about voice, vocal exploration, voice work, holistic voice work in particular. As a tool and as the focus or the lens that you choose to navigate with. So how that looks at the moment on a personal level is that I am still studying, still doing the polyvagal informed certificate course, which will finish in February. So that's about personal development, it's about professional development as well, and kind of building on the skills, tools and knowledge I have specifically in that area, and just wanting to consolidate a more comprehensive map really of trauma-informed practice. And it's been really great to have insights into applications in lots of different areas, from performance in sports to clinical settings to artistic and community settings, ritual practice, ceremony. So yeah, I'm still in that space. So my kind of insights and reflections from that they're still alive and they're still forming and moving and being shaped. But yeah, it's been great to do that, and that felt like a really aligned choice to step into that opportunity. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the next steps will be with that. So yeah, that's still ongoing. Creative practice, I'm almost finished a funding application for a personal creative project, and that has been kind of like dipping into the archives, because for those of you that work in spaces where you need to actually source the funding to support the venture, whether that's at a kind of organizational level or personal level in your own creative practice, you will know how challenging that is, and the resources that are required, the skills and tools that are required, and to be able to bring all of that together in a way that coincides with capacity and timing and availability. It's really like trying to organize the cosmos into some kind of order. So This is kind of the second iteration of this particular application. So I am feeling a lot more, yeah, I don't know. It's still too early to say confident because I feel like the proof is in the pudding with these things. Your confidence increases when you get feedback that is positive, or you get input that helps to tell you that you are in the right direction. But because I'm still inside of that experience, I would say that isn't fully formed yet, but certainly feeling much clearer, and that's, clearer about project concept, clearer about outcomes, clearer about process, clearer about the support infrastructure required to make it happen as well. So, yeah. And so that's kind of essential, that kind of key to open other doors to other opportunities, related to expanding and immersing more fully in my own creative practice as a voice artist, producer, composer, musician. And yeah, it's really important for me to be able to draw on that resource of like my own play, my own insights, my own experimentation, and actually bring that into the facilitation work, because I think it's really crucial to bring, that lived experience, that industry insight, and also that you're actually speaking from a place of embodied practice as well. So that kind of carries over into the facilitation space, and also, yeah, the actual voice work practice and experimentation that I'm doing in my own time. So the balance of these things at the moment is more heavily been leaning towards, yeah, further learning and trying to do these applications. So it's been quite like an intensive process in that, yeah, like cognitive, intellectual, administrative kind of land. But these are the building blocks that are essential to make the practical stuff happen as well. Facilitation wise, I think, yeah, where we're at now is this space of partnership building and looking to collaborate with other organizations, to serve them and their needs, but also to serve their service users as well. So that is a process of like extended relationship building. These things don't happen overnight, but yeah, kind of a deeper clarity around the kind of community that I'm trying to build is definitely informing that, as well as a sense of, what other communities are modeling things that for me feel inspiring, interesting, engaging, examples of best practice, and actually then trying to build and create connection around that, of like, this is a shared value that we have. How can we start a conversation and, yeah, see where these possibly disparate disciplines intersect. And yeah, I would like to be doing a lot more in terms of workshop format delivery next year, but also it is important to me as well to keep on building and developing the digital infrastructure as well, because I do recognise that that is, a way to reach a greater range of people, and from an accessibility point of view as well. Yeah, creating resources that can be accessed by more people. So these are all things that are kind of in a kind of continual motion and process in the background, but certainly in terms of the design of additional offerings, yes, there will no doubt be offerings in person next year. I don't have a clear plan around that, a clear template of what that looks like on a month-to-month basis, because of the fact that on a personal level, there's the prioritization around my own creative practice, sort of stepping into like a more engaged and active role with that. So hopefully the next update with that will be a positive one with good news, because there is actually building happening around the deliverables and outcomes of that project that do tie into both research and facilitation. So in a less complex way of presenting that, I suppose I'm saying that each of these areas really are important to each other, and there's that feedback loop between each of them, but also this, like if we're looking at the 5 elements interaction model as a really great example of this. You've got this continual movement and shifting and changing, but each aspect is important to the other for its realization, for its function, for its stability, for cohesion. So that is the kind of foundational principle by which I am trying to work, and also to build and to design into the way that the business actually operates as well, because I do believe that this is the kind of way for me to be able to do things more sustainably, from an energy management point of view, but also in terms of, yeah, long-term sustainable growth and, yeah, development that is happening in a way that kind of complements the core foundational values of how this business has come about, and what we're trying to achieve, and the kind of impact that we want to make as well. So yeah, where to leave things. Yeah, I think it's a very busy space at the moment. It's a very busy world. There's a lot of stimulation. There's a lot of, yeah, just we are swimming in a space of continual activation, stimulation, and it feels even more important to be able to discern between these external influences or voices, ideas, energy, information, however you want to frame that, and make a distinction clearly between that, how that might be shaping your beliefs, your actions, the way that you're moving in the world, and then the sense of, this is my energy, this is my core, this is my inspiration, this is my expression, this is my voice. So I'm inviting you over this transition period into next year to give yourself a bit of time and to give yourself a bit of space to just be present in your own energy and be present with yourself, and not enforcing a kind of rigid framework of, right, let's set a goal and let's organise things, and let's, put a pin in the map and then set our sights on that target, and this is what I want, kind of thing. Before we even get to that point, how do we create a space of connection with self that allows there to be room to actually meet, to hear, to acknowledge, and to receive information, messages, wisdom that are emerging, or that are asking to be acknowledged and actually expressed and lived through us. After this task is complete, after this application is in and submitted, I will be taking a pause, and just, giving myself time to kind of reorient, and time to actually listen to not the reminders of things coming up in the calendar, or the open-ended questions or things that I'm like, oh, that still has to be addressed, or that's something I need to do, but actually to sit and step into that space of, is there a gift? Is there a message? Is there something that I might not have even, I couldn't imagine, I couldn't conjure it up with a kind of work, productivity, strategy kind of focused energy, because it's actually something that is within a deeper layer of the psyche, or in a kind of a hidden crevice of the body somewhere, and it's just, like a little seed waiting to be planted and to unfurl. So with this kind of solstice time, that feels like a useful point for reflection. So what does your true voice desire? What is your true voice expressing to you? What is your true voice calling you to explore in 2026? And let that be a gentle invitation, or something that expands into a practice with your breath, with reflective writing or journaling, with art materials, if you feel that you have creative energy and impetus to explore that in a more tangible way. But even just giving yourself space to ask that question, and exploring what it feels like to actually sit with yourself, and not demand or ask or try and force anything, can can feel like really sheltering from the storm of overwhelming information and noise and busyness and everything else that seems to go on, 24/7, especially at this time of year. So however you celebrate, whatever your traditions are, and whoever you choose to spend time with over this period, over this holiday season, I'm wishing you well, and look forward to things to come next year. I'll leave it there. Take care, everyone.